What's going on, everybody out there, and welcome back to another episode of the Dark Avenger comic book review, the first episode of 2026. This is episode 550, as we're 50 episodes away from 600. That's happening at the end of this year.
That is crazy.
And we're covering the books that came out on January 7th, 2026. We have a nice amount of books this week. You're going to see some books disappear, some books appear, lots of stuff going on. I will talk about stuff as we get into the companies. We're starting with the independents. Godzilla, I decided for now, not feeling it as far as reviewing. Might look into it in story arc form later. It just was not holding me. This was the last issue of the first arc. Kind of weird. Not gonna lie, it was kind of weird. So I'm letting all the stuff for Godzilla for now go. I think that's it for at least independent. So we're gonna go into a trio of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle books. We're gonna start with Battle Nexus 2, which apparently is gonna be a weekly series. So this issue was Leonardo versus OG Shredder. And OG Shredder beats Leonardo. Because for those of you that don't know, the original TMNT series was very dark in the beginning. Leo hesitates, Leo loses, Leo disappears. Where does he go? We don't know. We get a little bit of backstory as the other turtles get captured and put away in prison temporarily. I think we're seeing Last Ronin Michelangelo in this book. I'm not sure yet because the person's covered, but it looks like Last Ronin, which would be crazy. And he talks about how this guy, Savanti, has been killing turtles throughout time, all the different dimensions and universes. So it's up to them to stop him. However, and if you've seen the cover for issue number 3, you already know this, and it's a weekly series, so this video is coming out Wednesday, so the new books are out as of today. The cover shows it. The next match is Raphael versus Aliplex. But from what time period is Aliplex? We'll find out in the next issue. Issue number 4, Shredder. Shredder takes a stop off in Japan because apparently he hid the heart in a temple high up in the mountains in Japan. And it turns out that the temple was found and the heart was stolen. And now it's up to Shredder to get the heart back. And that's the long and short of this series. Shredder is an interesting miniseries so far. It's his own story, his own little, whatever is going on in the TMNT universe, his little slice of it, so to speak. I've been enjoying the artwork immensely. The story following Shredder. He's older, though. It's weird seeing Shredder all gray. And with a beard. Interesting. I'm hooked on it, though. I've been really enjoying it a lot. Definitely something I recommend. And finally, from the TMNT trilogy, we've got TMNT X Godzilla issue number 2. This does not take place in the main Turtle universe. I repeat, this does not take place in the TMNT universe because in this issue, Shredder and Krang are working together in the Technodrome. So this is its own universe. Not connected, which is weird, because most of the TMNT crossover stuff is connected in some form, like TMNT Mighty Morphin, kind of, and TMNT Batman. However, if you look at the Ultimate collections for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles IDW first volume, none of those crossovers were actually in those Ultimate crossovers. They had their own trades. So, I think this falls under the Batman, TMNT, and TMNT Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So, issue number 2 shows Shredder is using a device that Krang made to control all the other kaijus to hate and want to kill Godzilla. And the turtles are stuck in the middle of that. Ghidorah is in New York. I like how Casey Jones tries to face off against him. It's a futile attempt on Casey's part, but turtles are there, so they're able to kind of save the day. And the issue ends with the turtles traveling to Japan, and we get a teaser appearance for Mothra.
Oh wow!
I'm looking forward to the next issue. excellent issue. I really like the artwork. I like the crossover ability. I mean, again, this is the Turtles. Their origin is from Japan, so having Godzilla along with it, excellent miniseries, an excellent crossover so far. It's only 2 issues in though, so I can't 100% say it's excellent yet till we get further along in the mini. But I'm really enjoying it. Strongest book of the week though definitely has to go to Battle Nexus. It is a weekly series though, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. But those are my 3 Turtle books at least.
Yes, and I have 3 books from the independent company, starting with Valiant Beyond of the Exo Manowar issue number 4. Arak versus Typhoon is how this issue starts off from the last issue where we saw that they were about to battle. And at first it doesn't look good for Arak because Typhoon really beats him up so badly because he's wondering where the Queen of Power is, and we get a little bit of a backstory about why he hasn't. So he uses his inner strength to actually go up against Typhoon, and he has help from Demolition and Zywak, or whatever the woman's name was. Artwork is outstanding in this issue. I really like the Exo Manowar story of the artwork, and of course we know that Arak defeats Typhoon from the help of those two, and then it's graphic. Very, very graphic about how he beats Typhoon. And at the end of the issue, Demolition tells Arak that his wife or something needs Arak's powers in order for her to survive. Or something like that at the end of the issue. And that's to be continued in Exo Manowar. So I'm really loving the issue and I'm really enjoying it. Now this one, we have 2 Zenescope books. King Dracula issue number 2. So this one is a new character who comes in this book. I believe his name was Victor. And he's going to be actually Dracula's partner in this one. Because there are many people who are trying to find out where Dracula is. So we have the person who was facing them last time from the SWAT team. They go to them and they say he has a message for you that you must hail to him, and of course, they're not going to do that. So they try to find a way to, they killed the SWAT team person because of her going nuts and everything. And one person from that organization, as they find Dracula just going into the fight scene, actually betrays them and goes with Dracula because they have a little bit of a history with each other, and you kind of have Dracula talking with Charlotte, which were together before, and they kind of have this. Well, she kind of has a hatred towards him from what he's done in the past, but this one that's going with Dracula now is basically her or his new lover. So until next time, my king, and then he just flies away. So it was a really interesting issue, though, and definitely something that you should definitely look into. Now, this one is a one-shot, and this is by Joe Bruscia and Patrick Shan, our good friends. And that is Van Helsing of this Throne of Blood.
I hope y'all both remember us, by the way. It's been about 5 years, half a decade, but we didn't forget y'all.
And I'm telling you, when I read this book, it's like they knew I was coming back, because I remember it goes back from when Van Helsing was doing that search for her father and everything, and I remember that. I was saying, wow, I actually remember that. And of course you see Robin Hood appear in this issue. That's my girl right there, Robin Hood. And she is talking with Hugh, and Hugh is saying that Dracula is not dead. And Van Helsing's to believe, what are you talking about? I know I killed him. So then she gets all these clues and a little tracker that she uses a fly for, a microchip, whatever, to lead to where Dracula is. So he is alive. And we are finding out that he is in a lair because with Dracula's blood summons the Red God. And the Red God is a really indestructible being, basically, when they use his blood. So we kind of get a little bit of backstory. And Van Helsing took place before King Dracula. So this is another cliff note for this one. And, of course, Van Helsing defeats the Red God by using some type of fire in order to defeat him. And I was just enjoying it. The artwork was outstanding, and absolutely amazing job from Joe Bruscia and Patrick Shan that did this book. It was just really, really amazing for a one-shot and enjoyable.
We're going to Marvel Comics really quickly. I did end up skimming through X-Men, the newest issue of X-Men, which came out this week. Takes place after the event that went on the past 3 months. I will say, if you did not read the main X-Men story where Cyclops, who went back in time apparently, you'll be a teeny bit lost. This book tries to... I'm not reviewing X-Men right now. Not my cup of tea. Might do another some of the other X books. We'll see. I did jump back into Wolverine. I will talk about that. I just wanted to touch on X-Men because I guess that's the main title where, you know, it's the fallout of what happened, at least. And interesting, again, I would recommend reading at least the main story that happened with Age of Revelation, or you're going to be a little bit lost, but the book tries to keep you into the what's going on. Again, if you're an X-Men fan, you'll be reading it. There are a lot of X books. I think they're actually cutting down on a few, but yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. Interesting read at the very least. All right, into the books I did read fully. We're doing the Spider books, I believe, first. So, all new Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider, issue number 6. Somebody finds out Gwen's secret in this book. And I'm not spoiling it. But, someone throughout the book notices Gwen and her personality and whatnot. The band is still fighting and searching for a name. We have minor issues. Now, I read this book first, and I shouldn't have read this book first because I don't remember as much as I want to. I will say, though, I'm really severely enjoying Spider-Gwen a lot. And it looks like we have a new villain coming up very soon in the series. I feel like I'm forgetting something with the book, but I should have looked through it because it was the first book I read. Definitely something I recommend checking out. I love I love Spider-Gwen, period. One of my favorite characters that came out in the past decade and a half. I'm really glad I have her first appearance. I love Spider-Gwen a lot. So I'm sorry I forgot a lot about the book, but I do know that I've been enjoying the series, and it's definitely something I recommend. Now, a book I never recommend, I leave it up to the readers and up to especially Spider-Man fans. Amazing Spider-Man issue number, I think it's 18 or 19. Issue 19. Spider-Man's coming home. He faces the rival that sent him into the galaxy far, far away to begin with. And he isn't winning the fight. However, he made all these friends, and they end up saving him because, he promised one of them that he was going to take them for hot dogs or whatever on Earth. And he ends up learning a lot in this issue, and he's taking it back with him to Earth. Now, I don't think this character that sent him, that can beat him. He also... Oh, I'm sorry. Let me rewind a little bit. The scientist makes a serum that will make Spider-Man stronger. But if he takes that serum, he will not be Spider-Man anymore. It will mess with his mind. And he gets to a point during the fight where he almost has to use it. And that's where his friends show up and save him. Now, the thing is, he still has it. The question is, will he ever take it, though? That we don't know. Excellent issue. This is all leading to the grand finale. I know the next issue in January will be a Norman Osborn focus book. We are reeling towards the crossover between Amazing Spider-Man and Venom. That's happening in 2 months. So this all is going to be wrapping up next month, after we get that last part to the Norman Osborn story, and then we get that final crossover where finally Amazing Spider-Man will be back to one story arc, possibly. We'll see. I cannot recommend or not recommend the book. Interesting read, but again, I have a feeling, I don't know, I'm hoping I'm right, that issue 1000 is going to surprise us, but this is Marvel, and they've made mention multiple times about things they'll never do again for Spider-Man, so I guess we'll wait and see.
And another Spider-Man book that we have is Spider-Man Noir, issue number 4. Oh, Peter Parker got himself, like we saw in the last issue, in a little bit of a predicament of trying to tell Gwen about who is behind the mask of Spider-Man who killed her father. So we get first off in the story where there's this new person that's in this book that does investigation of ghosts, so it's kind of ghost related in this one. And then he meets up with this weird looking guy in like a submarine like costume thing. I don't know how to describe it. And when he faces off against him, he notices that his powers were very weak when he touched them. And we find out as the issue continues that Spider-Man is off doing things that we thought he would never do. But is it really him? It is not.
It is.
And Mary Jane and Aunt May, when they find out everything of what's been going on because it was knocked down and everything, they find out he did all these violent things, and he's like saying, what? Like, how can I do these things? And he's trying to shoot his powers and everything. And Mary Jane is really hard on him. Like, I'm talking like really, really hard on him. So he's like saying, I don't have these powers, so who's Spider-Man? What's going on? And that's where the whole thing of now the other guy who's impersonating Spider-Man, that they believe he is Spider-Man, is out killing people. And basically framing him. So basically Gwen does go to Peter Parker and notices that there's someone at the door saying, Gwen, get my gun, because that could be the impersonator of Spider-Man, and then that's going to probably save his hide about him killing the father, thinking that the other guy is Spider-Man. So that's going to be a little bit how he's going to get his powers back. And that's to be continued next issue. So that's where it got really interesting. I can't wait to see how this is all going to continue on in the Spider-Man Noir universe.
And I believe this is the last Spider book, but we got Venom issue... What?
Yeah.
What was that?
It was this one.
Ah, yes, okay.
Yeah.
Venom issue 253. Venom versus Madame Mask. Madame Mask is back and wants Mary Jane, wants Venom. And as she promised, she's going to go relentlessly after them. Mary Jane ends up having that coffee date with Flash. And I like how in this story, like Flash, it's not really a date because we find out that she's somehow bugged. Flash, using his healing ability, is able to Morse code to Venom inside of Mary Jane what could be going on, and they find out that there is a tracking device, and Mary Jane tries to use it to turn the tables on Madame Mask. However, the last page of the issue, which leads into next month's book, which then, after that book, we're getting the crossover, it's going to be the final showdown between Madame Mask and Mary Jane, aka Venom. Poor boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, and that poor apartment. Oof. That's all I'm gonna say. Read the book.
Yeah, the Spider-Man universe is getting very chaotic and crazy with all the stuff that's going on.
Now we have 2 Wolverine books. We're gonna start with Ultimate Wolverine issue number 13, as this is connected or connecting to the Ultimate Endgame. This issue, Jean is down and out, and it's up to Wolverine to find medicine to take care of Jean, and that's basically the gist of this issue, is Ultimate Wolverine finding medicine, helping people out. Now, this is taking place during Ultimate Endgame issue number 1, so I guess that's where the crossover is for now. Wolverine ends up finding the medicine and leaving. However, things go awry because Endgame. So we'll see what happens and where Wolverine and Jean, what role they play. I feel like at this point, when it comes to Ultimate Wolverine, we're kind of losing the rest of the series to the main event because it's crossing over with the main event. We only have one more issue of Ultimate Spider-Man before that ends because it leads into Endgame. And then I don't read Ultimate X-Men, I don't read Ultimates, and I don't read Ultimate Black Panther, but I'm sure all of those will be leading into or ending as we get closer to... I think this month Ultimate X-Men ends as we get through the Ultimate Endgame, which ends the Ultimate Universe, which I'm upset about. I am, but what can we do? We're now in the regular Marvel Universe for, and I believe this is the last book for Marvel, Wolverine issue number 14. Welcome back after Age of Revelation, guest starring Silver Sable. Wolverine, this is a story. His motorcycle runs out of gas. He ends up in this random town, ends up getting attacked because it's a mutant town, and they are, and Silver Sable was given a contract to protect the town, and Wolverine being a mutant, they believe, Silver Sable, figuring out it's Wolverine, figures that he's there to help protect the town as well. We get a backstory for the town a bit. We find out that there's a group of people that are attacking the town, and that's who Silver Sable is protecting them from. They end up attacking. Wolverine, Silver Sable team up, of course, and then it ends with, well, they're gonna come back, so Wolverine's sticking around. However, we're getting a new Alpha Flight team in the next issue.
Wasn't Silver Sable in the Spider-Man universe?
Silver Sable's in the Marvel universe. What does it matter?
The Marvel. Like I thought, it was more like in the Spider-Man stories.
No.
Oh,
She's all over.
all right.
Excellent issue back. Really happy to see. And Wolverine's back in the brown and yellow costume. Really cool. Highly recommend Wolverine. I do love Wolverine a lot. It's definitely going to be one of maybe 3 books that I'm really enjoying out of the X-Men line of the main DC universe. Marvel universe. Now we're going into DC Comics. And I want to throw this out there. Batman, Absolute Batman Arc M. This is a special, annual, whatever you want to call it. It's a one-shot. Backstory for Arkham. How it's connected with Joker a bit. And what I will say that's important about this book is the end of the book, we get to see Batman a bit, and we also get to see a list of people that Joker is going to send Batman's way before actually before he actually takes a crack at Batman. And there are some names in there that are that any Batman fan is going to know. I knew them, and we get to see a first appearance. I'll spoil this since it's a one-shot. We get to see the first appearance of Deathstroke.
Oh, wow.
In the Absolute Universe. So, a lot of stuff that foreshadows what's coming in Absolute Batman. Awesome stuff. Definitely read the one-shot. If not for the story or the backstory of Arkham, for the ending where we get to see what's to come in Absolute Batman in the coming year. Absolute Green Lantern issue number 10. This is a full-out brawl between Green Lantern and the person who tried to assassinate her in the last issue, which she gets a one-up on. We get to see more conversation with Simon Baz, because Simon Baz shows up and has a conversation with Green Lantern. The girlfriend shows back up. We get to see Hector Hammond appearance in Absolute Universe. We get a first appearance for Hector Hammond. We find out that Hector Hammond's the one that's chasing after the Green Lantern ring and Green Lantern, which freaks out the ex-girlfriend, and now they're on the run from Hector Hammond, who is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, I will say. It's good to see that no matter what universe it is, Hector Hammond is nuts. Looking forward to the next issue. Absolute Green Lantern's great. Been enjoying it a lot. New story starts here, and it's Absolute Superman issue number 15.
And one of my comic covers. That
one of Michael's top comic covers.
Yeah.
So, it is a while since the battle between Ra's al Ghul and Superman. Superman is... life is going back to normal. You know, he's still working the farm in Smallville. Still being Superman and, overexerting himself. Also, you have... he goes to see Ra's al Ghul a few times, and because he's locked up, and because he was kind of cut off from the Lazarus Pit, as the book progresses, we get to see him age. From where he was in the last issue to a very old man. And Superman is trying to instill hope. He's trying to rehabilitate Ra's al Ghul. And it looks like it's not working. And this is Darkseid's universe where hope is nil. But apparently it's starting to work towards the end of the book. We also get to see Superman missing soul a bit. He's stretching himself thin, that is for sure. But he's still trying to save the world. And we get to see Brainiac is visiting a very, very familiar name in the Superman universe. That's where I'm going to leave it off. I'm not going to spoil that, but it's to be continued in the next issue, and I'm looking forward to it. Adventures of Superman, Book of L, issue number 5. The finale of the fight between the Sun Eater. We get to see one of the characters become the next Green Lantern, which I think is really cool. And she's able to stop the Sun Eater. I love the artwork in this book most of all. Again, this is one of those books where I feel like Superman is trapped in time, or in some type of an alternate universe's time in the future. And we get to see one of the children that he adopted at the end of the issue, and he's looking to find, he's trying to find her. And I'm trying to explain. It just feels like Superman's displaced, and because he's displaced, he could be like, "Oh, hey, my name's Clark," and it doesn't matter because he's in the future. He's going to go back to the past where everyone, in the future, everybody knows Clark Kent's Superman, apparently. Because remember the Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah.
So anyway, the fight with the Sun Eater was awesome. I will say that. The artwork's spectacular. It's going to be interesting to see where this story goes because it is a, I believe, 12-issue maxi series and then it's over. And this issue was 5, so next issue we're halfway through the series. It's interesting. I will say it's interesting. Superman fans will be reading it. Otherwise, you won't be reading it.
Alright, Cheetah and Cheshire robbed the Justice League, issue number 6. So we saw in the last issue that Black Adam had the not the Justice League, the Cheetah and Cheshire team that were there, and they have the power bank, which they robbed successfully from the Justice League. And thanks to Clarion, whatever his name was, that led him there, but he was actually tricked to, lead him there, gives away the power bank. But the Justice League got there just in time to get back their power bank, and that leads Cheetah and Cheshire to transport out of there with the mission failed of the power bank, saying, okay, so we got that, now Justice League got it. However, they did not leave empty-handed, because in the trophy room, they actually did rob the Justice League by stealing their precious jewelry and their treasure that they could sell online or whatever, and I was like, oh gosh.
Was this the last issue?
It's the end question mark. I'm going to tell you why, actually.
Right.
So, because I thought it was the last issue. So, after they go all after that, Cheetah summons something that she gets revenge on, and after the revenge of Cheetah defeating this entity, whatever it is, she goes from being Cheetah to a regular human.
Ooh. Okay.
And she was saying never been better, so that's why it says the end question mark. And it could be a new beginning. So that's actually very interesting to know that now Cheetah is no longer just a cheetah, it is just a regular person. And she looks good as a regular person, I have to say so. But really great issue, and I guess I'll be reading more if it's just the end or question mark, just to see how this story continues on.
Batman issue number 5. Batman, or Bruce Wayne I should say, takes the Doctor out on her date, and it turns out that a lot of people want to see the Doctor die because the entire issue is them being chased by motorcycle ninjas and the woman on the cover, this lady who can turn into a bunch of crows and fly away. And obviously Bruce is protecting the Doctor, and we get to a point in the book towards the end where things become very, oh no, you're not going to go in this direction, because Robin shows up and they do go the direction I thought. I'm not going to spoil it for this issue. Obviously we're going to talk about it when I review the next issue, but the ending has a bit of a surprising twist.
Oh.
I didn't think that Robin would be as dumb as he was in this issue, but Damian surprised me. But then again, he didn't know.
Well, Damien's kind of a little bit
know.
smart, sort of.
Witty. No, he just didn't know about something. It's okay. I'll talk about it in the next issue. I've been loving Batman. It's excellent. Definitely something to check out. I haven't checked out Detective yet. They're in the middle of an arc. Maybe at some point, maybe if there's a crossover. But for right now, Batman is my favorite book.
Alright, now this issue, I'm going to give another issue because, well, let me just say what it is. Batman Green Hour, The Question, Arcadia, issue number 2. It is, not only is it very dialogue heavy, I literally had to look at this book at least 3 times because I could not, I couldn't understand the story. It just kept going back and forth. You have Batman going up against Green Arrow because of something that he did or something to take him into justice. And then you have the Question that he's doing his mischievous things. You know, it just kept going like back and forth, back and forth. It was getting me very, very confused of how the story, like I'm saying, okay, but where's it going? You're going here and there, and I'm like, and I was really confused. But long story short, the Question is just the one that's causing the mayhem. And Batman needs to go and get him to stop him from doing whatever it is that he was doing in this issue, and needs the help of Green Arrow. However, Green Arrow is not needed in the city that he's in, but Batman gets the arrow and says that, well, I guess we're going to be using this. So I don't know what he meant by that. I'm going to give another issue a chance just to see how it goes, but if the story just goes like all over the place like it did for me, I'm probably going to drop the book.
I don't blame you.
So that's just my opinion of that book.
Yeah.
But up to you guys who want to pick it up.
And now, the last book of the review, and the only book this week for DCKO, and that's Knightfight, issue number 3 of, I think, 4 or 5?
4.
Issue 3 or 4. So there's one more issue to go. And this issue is Red Hood versus Batman. And Batman's able to finally get through to Jason in this issue. And the Heart hates that, so it pulls him away. And it says, okay, if I can't break you by fighting, I'm going to break your heart instead. So he gets thrusted into, and I forget the name of the Batman title, but there's a Batman title that's out right now. That's a miniseries that takes place in the future where Tim Drake is Batman. And it's in this book. And Batman helps Tim solve his own death. And again, he screws the Heart's plan. So again, he gets thrusted into a different universe. But this time, it's a utopia universe. It's one where there isn't a need for a Batman anymore. There isn't a need for a Robin anymore. Because all crime and everything have been solved. And we get to see Damian in this world. And Damian says, yes, I know the Heart's through you here. Yes, you can leave if you want to. But are you going to want to? Because the last page, and I'm going to spoil this because A, it's the last book. B, it's KO. And C, I don't know if 4 comes out next month, which I don't think it does. I think it comes out the following month when we get the last issue of KO. We get the twist. In this universe, it's a utopia. In this universe, Damian has a wife and a son named Alfred.
Oh my gosh.
So Bruce can leave and continue to fight in the tournament to stop to stop Darkseid and the whole Heart, of whatever, Omega Heart, or he could live in this world that's a utopia and have a grandson. Will Batman do it? We all know the answer, but the story about how he gets there, I guess we'll find out in the next issue. And that's it for this review.
Yep.
As this is coming out, the books for the 14th are being released, so I hope you all are
That's
having a
my
happy
birthday.
comic book day today. It's his birthday, that's right. And we will be back next week, hopefully on the weekend instead of a couple of days later. We did have a lot of birthdays this weekend. My children, 2 birthdays, and then now Mike's birthday also. So hopefully next weekend we'll be back on Sunday with the review.
50 and beyond,
But
let's go.
here we go, 50 more episodes. I believe, if I'm correct, it'll be it will be in December when we hit the 600th
So we
episode.
hit halfway point in January, and then we get to... Wow, that talk about a whole 12 months.
12 months of fun. Till next time, everybody, take care, keep reading, keep collecting. We will see all of you really soon in the next episode.
Take care, everyone.